It's Halloween 2024. Alter ego, I'm Bigfoot. I'm Dr. Douglas Robinson, podiatrist in Campbell. Do your feet hurt? Do your kids' feet hurt? Foot pain is not normal. And if your pain is secondary to a mechanical issue, I've got answers for you, and I'm going to describe that in detail. And I want to tell you about an award that I just got, and it was from Top Practice. It's a national organization where I was given the Drive Award for 2024. And it says Douglas Robinson, DPM, for his leadership, excellence, tenacity, and unending willingness to help others, like my colleagues and patients. So I'm going to talk to you about foot orthotics. So if you've got a mechanical issue, you've got flat feet, a high arch, you've got something that's not lined up well, it can cause pain. And it's just like if you have a car that's operating perfectly with all the tires balanced and one tire blows out, you're going to have a very shaky, uneven ride until you get that fixed. So I've got ways of helping you to load your foot and balance it so you don't have pain. And for many, the longer they're on their feet, the more uncomfortable they are. We've got an epidemic in our country of getting more and more overweight, and sometimes it's because your feet are flat. So we're going to talk about how I fix a flat, how I manage it, but how I take care of any foot issue. So when you come in and you describe to me what's wrong, I will watch you walk, I'll touch and feel where you're having pain, and I'm going to change where peak loads of the ground against your foot are causing pain, and how I can subtract that pressure to give you a good ride. So when you come in, if you've got flat feet, and I'm thinking you might do well with either a prescription orthotic, that's one that I make by taking impressions of your feet, and the lab actually creates an appliance by my prescription, or I think you can do well with something that's not prescription, that's over the counter, that's inexpensive. On your first visit, I may do a treatment-directed test that allows you to experience what it would be like if I was to alter the mechanics of whatever's bothering you. And when you come in on that next visit, if that feels good, I'm going to incorporate that in your care. So if you've got flat feet or a high arch and your shoes aren't providing adequate protection, or you might be wearing a good shoe, I'm going to do something to help support your arch by using this. It's called an arch binder, made by Jill's, or I may do this custom, which wraps around your arch to shorten the lengthening that it can occur when your foot hits the ground and flattens, so that that peak load doesn't cause strain along the ligament, particularly the plantar fascia. So this is something that we use as a treatment-directed test that slides onto your foot. It's reusable. You'd wear this during the day. This fits in just about every shoe, and it supports the arch, but it does it temporarily and is not as forthright or as robust as when I make something that goes into your shoe. So this is called an arch sleeve. And that's what we do on day one. You come back and you go, wow, that felt great, or it didn't feel good. It helps me to decide what to do for you. So Yogi Berra was one of the most famous baseball catchers, and he had all these sayings that didn't make a lot of sense, and this one's going to sound kind of funny to you, but he said, when you come to a fork in the road where you've got either going left or right or behind door A or B, you got a fork in the road, take it. You're going to decide it. Your feet are going to help to direct us on what to do based on how you do with the treatment-directed test. So if you've got an arch issue, I'm going to try this. If you've got a pain where the big toe joint is restricted, or you have pain underneath here from little bones called sesamoids being inflamed, or you've got an arthritic great toe joint, I'm going to put this on your foot. It's called the dancer's pad. And sometimes I'll tape it right to your foot, or I've got another pad by Jill's Gels that you can actually take this off, but it will take pressure off that area. And if this has been going on for months or years and that feels great, then I can incorporate that into a custom orthotic so that this is now permanent in your in location underneath your foot in your shoe, and it has an accommodation to take pressure off that area to give you a good ride. If you've got pain across the ball of your foot, we call that metatarsalgia. or you've got one particular joint that's hurting you under the second metatarsal or the third metatarsal or that joint, I'm going to try something called a metatarsal cookie. And this will go just in front of the ball of your foot to subtract peak loads from this narrow area and divide it further along the weight-bearing surface of your foot to take pressure off that area. If that feels great, I will build that into the orthotic by incorporating a metatarsal cookie, which is built into the orthotic. So the benefit of having an orthotic, based on you having a positive experience with the treatment-directed test, is now you've always got this in your shoe, and it's always in the perfect location to offload that area of pain. So we make orthotics that has all of these accommodations in place. And then we can make it for a casual shoe, or I call this a universal styled orthotic, or we can make it for just athletic shoes where you take the liner out, this goes inside. But we also have a lot of options that are not as costly, they're more price effective. We can call them poor man's orthotics in an over-the-counter type of device that I can add these same things to, or the dancer's pad to take pressure off the big toe joint. And you can leave today with that in your shoe to start your recovery. We take care of little tiny kids who have flat feet, where when you look at the back of their heel is not perpendicular to the ground, their heel is turned way out. And that's severely pronated or a flat foot. We have inserts called little step insoles that can go into their shoes that if they're young enough and they wear this consistently, it can correct. So that's how we fix a flat foot. We have inserts that work great with stilettos, if you're into stilettos. High-heeled shoes. This also is an over-the-counter or a prefabricated device that can go into a pump. We have prefabricated ones in the office that are flexible, that kind of start your journey without going through a custom one, that can help you to feel better on day one. When you have custom orthotics, they don't last forever. Sometimes they have to be updated. Sometimes you have outgrown them. And if you have one that you've had for a long time, but I still feel the shell is in good shape, it still holds your foot neutral, but the cover's in disarray, I can get this resurfaced and it will feel like new again. I can do that for most any type of insole, and the new insoles rather than this are more robust, more cushioning, and it will give you just a great ride. So think of me as your engineer of the foot. I want you to have great steps every day, and I want you to be comfortable. So this is how we start a treatment-directed test on your road to recovery to get your feet feeling much, much better. And or if your kids have problems, they're 8 to 10 years old, they're playing a lot of soccer, they're doing cross country, and their feet hurt, their legs hurt. It could be because of their foot mechanics, or what we call pathomechanics, being abnormal. So we do a pathology-specific type of an orthotic to give them a great ride. I also do a lot of educating on what is the best style of shoe that will help to give you a great ride as well. I'm the BigFoot today, but I'm Dr. Douglas Robinson, here to teach you what I can do to help you to feel better. Please take care of yourself and each other.